Welcome back, MTG Joe here, and today we're going to get a sneak peek. We're going to play some Explore ahead of the official release on Arena, and we're doing so through Direct Challenge. One of my buddies, Cody, part of my community, is going to help me out and test a couple decks. We're going to try best of 3. So a little bit of coordination will be needed to be done, but we'll try this out in a couple different against a couple different decks. So up first, we're going to try out NAYA WINOTA. Notably from the Pioneer version, we're missing Voice of Resurgence as a main board card. They also play a couple Thalias. I'm trying out Adanto Vanguard in the place of Voice of Resurgence and a couple copies of Tovolar. I prefer Tovolar over Thalia. I don't necessarily like the tax for Fable, the Mirror Breaker, or Chariot, and there's not as many combo decks in the current format because you don't have like Hidden Strings or like the Is It control decks because it's missing some cards. Really with this deck, what you're trying to do is play non-creatures with a lot of early ramp that happen to then trigger Winota to hit like Tovolar's Huntmaster is your main hit. You have some copies of Brutal Cathar. Tovolar also plays nicely with Huntmaster to draw you additional cards. In the sideboard, we don't know what the format is fully yet, but kind of some thoughts. You got some Fries against like Winota matchup, blue-white control, stuff like that. Redain versus the control deck, Skyclave for more removal, Arcana Myria to slow down some decks, especially the non-creature ones, Spellbinder versus control, Chandra versus kind of control, and Trostani is something I want to try out against like Agent of Treachery decks. So something to give a shot there, see how it plays out. So we will give this a go. Let me see if he's ready. Alrighty, so we will do challenge match, best of 3, 60 cards. No, I'll just do challenge match. All right, let's get it going. So the actual queue comes up on Thursday, so you'll be able to battle out in best of 1 and best of 3. This just gives us an opportunity to play out some of these decks, see how it plays out. I believe he is going to be first on Jeskai Luca Fires, or just Jeskai Fires, so we'll give it a shot. This hand looks good overall. So we do have a consideration. I'm probably going to go... Oh, he's on mono red first. Okay. So that does change the way we maybe approach this next turn. I want to hit some lands, so I'm going to do this. So this is my mono red list he's trying out. So it's kind of a port of the mono red deck. I'll put both deck descriptions in the comments. We're not going to take this block. I can exile it with Brutal Cathar. Ooh, Skewer as well. Some good value. I'm going to get rid of Adanto. I think we're going to get rid of Chariot here. I want to hit lands. Okay, that's actually really good. A little awkward. No, we should be okay. Gain some life back. Because then next turn I could just play out Winota. And here we're kind of like pretty well situated in terms of having Winota. We're able to, yeah, we're just gonna take this damage, no blocks. He's holding up the Firebrand to hit my Innkeeper, but my Geese can both attack. And then he has to decide, because then he'll also have to deal with this Kiki. Let's go! So he's got to decide here what he wants to hit. Get 3 spins of the wheel. Let's go Huntmaster. Gain a bunch of life back. Huntmaster. Get rid of a blocker. So really with this deck, like if your opponent lets you hit with Winota, they're usually dead. I can also just Kiki my Winota. Oh, sorry, with one of the Tovolar Huntmaster. Cemetery Reaper is the thing we're trying out in lieu of Eidolon. But like here we'll be able to just get more Huntmaster triggers. All the triggers in the world. Aw, we missed. More Huntmasters! Alright. Let's go. Look at all this. It's just nice, fun. I think we have Xaxes. Alright, what'd we hit there? Close game, close game. So sideboard, they're going to have more interaction. It only let us do partial sideboards. Okay, so it didn't work like that, so we're just going to resubmit. I'm going to just try to get it going again. And then we'll queue it up with the sideboard. We got to see what Winota could do though. Quite powerful. Let's see if we can get it to actually show up with our sideboard this time. So Cody, no. Limited tournament match. So what we're going to do here is he's going to concede and then we'll go to sideboards. So we'll know for next time. It's just a different way of actually challenging. It's just a little awkward. Cool. So we'll go to sideboards here. Again, apologies. We're trying to... it's still not working. We're going to try one more time, and then we might just be doing best of 1 games. Let's give this another shot. I don't understand why they just didn't give us best of 3 as an option for deck builder to let us actually try this out. Makes it extremely... So we have tournament match. I have this as... Oh, limited only showed 7 cards. Okay, we're just gonna do best of 1. We're trying. It's really frustrating when you can't even test out the way you intended. We'll do a couple. He's going to switch up decks, so we'll play against a couple variety of decks. Again, hand looks good. Honk on 1. Get a Danto out on 2. Chariot on 3. Play Winota. They don't typically have a sweeper, so... I'm actually... just gonna set up like this. Obviously would have liked Elf on 1 so we didn't have to spend the food. Turn 3 Winota, 2 triggers. Let's go. Actually, you know what? I kind of messed up there. I should have killed this because if they have Transmogrify, they could get us and they can take my Tovolar. I think we're overall okay. Because even with Agent, they only get to take 1 thing, and I have enough of a board presence. Okay, so they have Fires, that's spell 1. Yeah, so I did punt in that regard. We'll see what they decide to take here. What I can do is exile with the Brutal Cathar. So I get the Winota out of the way. So they could Orient a hand and blink it. I think we're just pushing in damage here. These Vanguards have been nice. Just another 2-power attacker to trigger. And the fact that, like, even here, if they have a sweeper, it doesn't really do much because I pay 8 life and then I'm left with Winota and 2 Adanto Vanguards. So they have Yorion and they're dead. This deck's gonna be like the best deck in the format. Let me just get him another deck list to try out. This is kind of what we're seeing. In best of 1, it's particularly hard unless you have like heavy targeted removal. So he's going to try out Blue-White Yorion up next. These are all decks if you're interested in. I did post it all. I did 10 decks in the format. Things to try out, so definitely if you're interested, try those out. I'll post the video, goes over all of them. This is the deck he was currently playing for those interested. You're using basically Transmogrify to go into Agent of Treachery, but we'll see if Blue-White Control could stand a chance. Being on the play with Winota is a top tier strategy. Let's play this out, see how it goes. In the meantime, I will order some dinner. No Winota, but probably good enough. I think like a Adanto. Needle Verge. And this deck is probably a good kind of call. Probably just going Adanto here and passing the turn. They do have Portable Hole, they do have March, so that he does have options here. He also has Wandering Emperor. It's probably... I might want the other white. So we'll go like this. Yeah. See March come down here. Interesting he chose to do March there. So he could have Wandering Emperor in hand. That's another way to get rid of my Adanto. Yorion to hand's a good call. So I don't want the Goose. Probably don't want the Innkeeper either. I think... I think I'm just gonna go Brutal Cathar here, because if they don't play anything, this just flips and it makes it harder to target. It's also more power. Yep. So, called it.
I am the Emperor of Kamigawa, and you protect my people. This is what you get for hurting my people.
I don't think... Because if they have a sweeper, they play it now. I have Tovolar as a backup. So we can probably play this. This can help me dig for a land potentially as well. If they don't, then I have Moonrage Brutes. They are somewhat on sweeper or bust. And we can see how this matchup where the opponent's actually playing to our board. Mind you, if we had Winota on 3, the game would have gone a little bit different. Kikis are quite valuable, just filtering through like late keys. Even this just not being Llanowar Elf, we've missed out a couple points of damage. What they can do is Yorion, blink, and then use it to exile my Moonrage Brute. I forgot to make
You'll be safer.
Forgot to make a treasure or a food. Okay, with Chariot. I think what we're gonna do. I want to take this off the battlefield. Now they could be playing us into a farewell. The deck does play 3. Having said that, I don't think we beat a farewell regardless. So we'll see how this plays out. I think this will be the natural foil. 4 March, 4 portable holes. Yep. Smells like farewell to me. And the rough thing about farewell is it hits everything. Sad Winota noises. You know it's bad when they're main phasing Deluge. I think this is the key matchup for us to test. Oh, so they went with Narset.
Practiced against many. Keep an open mind.
I think we need to take this off.
This was overwhelming.
Play Chariot here. Cry when they have an incoming farewell. Okay, good start. Mind you, they only need a land. They can also discard stuff
Hone your prowess.
to this march. And we're seeing like kind of the sadness. The Yorion Blink Wandering Emperor. Gain 4 life, exile 2 creatures. Monday. March, exile, March. Sure. So that's definitely Fateful Absence. So I'm not going to play into the Fateful Absence.
I shall miss your company.
Nope, just Omen. I think it was too risky to do that into the Fateful. Because we still have 2 Kikis, and it's a way for, or 1 Kiki, we do want to take this off. I could have put 1 attacker there, but even now they have the open Hall the Storm Giant. They also have Deluge open, so we're pretty much in garbage time. Okay, so they play 3 farewells. They do play Jawari, and I personally don't want to get Jawari'd, so play around that. You don't want this like 6 mana spell to get Jawari. So notably, this flips it back to day. And we are drawing nothing but lands. So let's let them make the decision. I'm actually a green mana short, so I should have thought about that, played this land, because now I can't fight this in combat to get it out of the way. Which is unfortunate. Alright, no more farewells. Oh, that's frightening.
I know my responsibility.
I'm just gonna see if we draw Winota. We could have a chance, if not. They are at 2. He says as they draw running Tefts.
This isn't a fight. Let's skip to the good part.
Called it with the Jawari. Maybe? They march. Faithful Absence. I mean, we can try. We're likely dead here. Okay, so we got Huntmaster back. Alright, let's try that one again. Farewell is nuts. The fact that Farewell hits everything, my fable, my hopes, my dreams. Beef first. You go first. I got geese. So I'm actually going to go Tovolar because it provides card advantage. It's also harder for them to kill the March, and it can't be Portable Hold. Can be Fateful Absenced, but need to play as though they don't have the card. Playing around Jawari here. Okay, so we see Omen here. Again, March, it's a 2-for-1 at this point. They can hold, they can hit my Adonto. This does flip back my Tovolar, but again, they have to play Sorcery Speed. And we're live to draw Winota, which we don't. It's actually really good. I think I'm just gonna go Chariot here. They don't play Sweeper on 4. And I can play both of these out. And then Crew, so it's not as impactful. So play this out. I want to play around Jawari again. And I'm doing this because I want to have the mana. Okay, we have it anyways to cast the Huntmaster. Tovolar's really carried this game.
I'm not going to sort this one out. Let's take it back.
Yeah, they're dead. Crew it up. All right. It might be right, too, for this deck, instead of the Doom Scars, to play Settle the Wreckage. I think this is going to be like the closest matchup that we see, at least in best of 1. So we're going to do one more for the ultimate glory of Teferi versus Winota. We saw kind of both extremes there. I'm really liking Tovolar. The Wolf synergy feels good. Let's go on the play. Llanowar Elf into Fable into Winota. No red man. Alright, well. Goose into Tovolar worked last game, so we'll do it again. So I'm going to do this pre-combat. So here I can do this, makes a treasure. Mana base is extremely painful here. I think here, play out the innkeeper. They could have absorb. This lets me make a, so I have the choice to sacrifice this, which we probably will. I'm anticipating Winota, or Wandering Emperor. I would love this Emperor's such a house.
Finally, I'm home. My judgment is final.
So one thing, I'm gaining some life back, so from a Danto I can play around the sweeper. Could see Teferi potentially tuck here.
Hurry.
We've got the edge.
To be honest, he probably is stabilized at this point. It's very likely he has a march or a farewell. I need to get the blocker because I can't kill Teferi here.
That was uncalled for.
I'm never done for good.
Could see farewell. The fact like I can't continue to pressure the board in other ways. I do think on the sideboard I'm gonna want Planeswalkers. Teferi's gonna take over. I need a Winota like now. And then I need him to not have one of his 5 remaining instant speed answers or counter spells. I'm just gonna get swept here probably.
Stop that now.
So they can farewell. They wouldn't name artifacts because it hits whole. In fact, they kept something on top. Like this line, I can just get hit by a sweeper.
We need to move quickly.
So that's definitely a Wandering Emperor. Could also be Shark Typhoon. Okay, backup Huntmaster's not bad. Holding this land at this point. Could be a march coming down. Yeah.
Time for plan B. As soon as I think of one.
So if we ever find this Winota, 9% of our deck, and it somehow gets through 7 cards at a blue-white, we are now through 1 Fateful, 1 March. Cody's got infinite mana, basically. Oh, a goose. Okay, so we see the Emperor. Tovolar goes away.
This is what you get for hurting my people.
I attacked with 3 here, so I could hit to Fairy. Now they can take a trade, or they can just eat. The big thing for me is I get to Fairy off the board until he naturally just drops his second to Fairy. Yeah. Feels bad.
Let's skip to the good part.
So we're probably doing you decide who you want to keep alive.
Back to wandering.
In all honesty, Goose isn't going to do too much, so I'll find this out. At least the elf is an attacker post-sweeper. I mean, 30-ish cards through the deck. Hasn't found a sweeper, seems good. A lot of card selection though. Not finding a deluge also. Okay, so finally top something. May want a creature land as well.
Hurry.
Give me Winota. Sky Noodle. Sky Noodle, come on down.
This is hardly my worst.
Bounces to Fairy. Just gonna, you know, our life total is not gonna really matter this game. We're gonna lose by a mile, not an
You'll
inch.
show remorse. I'll show respect.
No removal? I'm gonna play out Chariot as a bait.
Stop that now.
With Chariot, it's hard, like they need Farewell, not just Doomscar. Alright. Oh. I'm all in. Next card's going to be Winota. He literally just drew Doomscar.
We need to move.
This card's Winota. We're just going to draw to see that it's Winota. Just taking my food for good measure. I'm already dead.
I've learned.
Yeah, I think blue-white control is going to be really serious. This Winota deck was really good against all the creatures decks. So I think these two are going to be the ones I'm going to explore a little bit further. I think I might want Settle in the blue-white control list that we put together. But I'll link all these deck lists if you want to try out any of them to get a feel. And thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any deck ideas, things you'd like to see as well in the format, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.